Seal rising, divine afternoon, and grand night to the beautiful divine mirage watching this mindful message. It's your divine reflection, divine messenger. It's your divine reflection, divine messenger, and we are back with another mindful message. I understand if you choose to and you enjoy these videos, make sure you like, comment, subscribe for more divine messages. Let's go ahead and get into it. I don't want to waste too much time because I'm already not feeling well, but that's not actually a belief that I want to believe in. I am getting better for sure. I'm already healed actually, but my mind has to catch up to what I'm already healed in. But so just excuse my throat gateway pause because I've already made it's like my fifth video for today. Well, really my sixth video, but I've already been talking a lot. I've already been teaching a lot, and I gotta make another video as well for Instagram and TikTok. But this video basically happened, or it was supposed to happen yesterday, but I had practice. I had so much going on. I'm just basically busy, but no excuses. So, long story short, because it was really a great day. It was very funny, but I was just understanding how children are very in tune with a leader who decides to guide their mindset through a liberating frequency that elders will not want me to recognize. So the mind gets out the bus, and it's a new character added to my story, by the way. But the mind gets out the bus, and I go sit at this circle table in the establishment, and she goes and sits at this chair with a coworker who's at this computer that's in front of this chair. But what's blocking her from like reaching over is like this table, not this table, but a stand. I don't know how you want to call it, like a desk, but it's to where it's a chair, the little desk format, and then the computer in front of it. And so the coworker and the mind were just talking. Now I'm sitting at the table. It's a circular table, and it's a chair. One, two, three, four. So I'm sitting. It's like as soon as you walk in, I'm sitting in a chair to the right. But as you sit down, it's like I'm facing to where the pool is, and like the stairs to go upstairs to where the classrooms and stuff are, the aerobics room or the ceramics room. But so as I'm sitting at the table by myself, and the mind's just talking or whatever, because she gets bored, she can't use her phone or whatever, she can't really get up and do stuff. But I let her have some leeway to get her thoughts out. So now there's a new character named, I'm just gonna call her Miss J. Miss J, basically, she's brownish, not brownish, but it's like golden, light skin, brown skin, almost light skin, but not really light skin. Basically, a yellowish, light skin, brownish, whatever. She has, I just say she has locks. I don't want to describe it because I know there's some people on the internet who are very weird. She sits at my table, and the mind has this tendency to focus on who I look at. So, for example, I could be listening to a video in my ear because I want to play it out loud because I know that some people can't understand what I'm listening to. I'll look around. If I see what I think, a biological woman, if I see a biological woman walking, I'm going to look. Now, I would want it to be a biological woman, but over here we understand that a lot of people are turned inside out, they're inverted. So it's like, if it's not a woman, fuck. That shit's weird. But if it is a biological woman, I'm going to look. And she looks at me looking at them, and she always thinks that I'm looking at, their behind or whatever, because her mind is already traumatized by, just what her experiences have put her through, which really, it hurts my heart when she does that. Because I gotta tell her, like, I'm not looking at that. So it's like, stop assuming that. It's not cool, it's not funny, and it's not cute. So stop doing that. Because it's very weird for you to say that and think that it's okay. So she gets put in time for that. But, and she, of course, she apologized for it as well. But Miss J is sitting in front of me, and me and her already had conversations. So, and of course, I went into her office and introduced myself to her, shook her hand, looked her eye to eye, and me and her are into consciousness, spirituality, and I want to say she's in her early 30s, mid 30s, I want to say, but she has in the establishment, she has a higher position from what I'm working in, but she uplifts me into being in that position with her, but it's not what you think. So she's sitting in front of me and basically talking about how she's tired or whatever. She had papers in her hand, And I'm thinking that it's a schedule for the trainings or just her yoga class or whatever, because she does yoga. And I already follow her on social media. So here's where the conversation happens. That's why I mentioned social media. But she tells me that she's tired or whatever and that she hasn't been getting sleep or whatever. Then Maya stops what she's doing with the coworker. She's turning around like this and she's looking at me and she's giving a smile like, because I noticed that the children that I counsel and the elders as well, they're very infatuated with who I communicate with or who I'm into. But I'm at the stage in my life to where I'm so focused on work that I don't really think that any woman's attracted to me. Now, of course, I'm lying, but at this moment, I'm just basically living. I have a better situation to be living in. I don't have time to be enslaved to my past. I'm trying to, not trying, but I'm doing actions and I'm just doing different things to better my future. So I don't see women being focused on me because I'm not paying attention necessarily. But she was telling me about her day and all that. I seen the Maya smiling. I'm ignoring her. And she told me too that earlier today she was out in nature. She had 2 yoga mats. She put one of the yoga mats down and she had the other ones where she was stretching. She went to go do something. She came back. There was a whole ant pile on her mats to where it blew her whole mood. And she was trying to get some sun and just get her day started by walking, but I just threw her off. And of course, she hasn't been getting sleep, so she's been tired. Her sleep schedule's thrown off and all of that. And next thing I know is just, I said, okay, are you, because I asked the question too, are you getting sun? And she was like, no, I haven't. And that's what she told me the story about the anthill and all that. So that's when after that, I asked her that question and I said, okay, how about your health? She said it's getting better. She's been taking her herb. She called it something. I was trying to Google it. Before I could Google what the herb was, she switched the convo onto my videos. I was like, okay, all right. Now, of course, for me, I play dumb because I want women to tell me or show the signs, and the signs are there, but I choose to play dumb. So she switched the convo onto me. She said, so I've been in tune with your content, and she's like, I must say, I ain't gonna lie, you be on it. And she was like, I be watching your videos, and she was like, also, please don't make a video on me. And then she said, I'm just joking. Because she understood that my recent video, I was talking about this vampire saying that Annie in the movie Sinners was the villain, and how people be saying dumb shit. And so when somebody comments something dumb or says something dumb, I make a video on them. And she's seen that, she pays attention. So she said, don't make a video on me, but I'm just joking. So I'm just like, interesting. And then she mentioned about the face overlay or the EGI, and she was interested in my topics on men being women, women being men. And what's crazy, me and her eye contact is just like this. So she's talking, I'm looking at her in her eyes. What I noticed though, she was doing this with her eyelashes, like with her eyes. So she was doing this. As I was looking dead at her soul when she was talking to me. Mind you, I don't even feel good, but she don't know that though. So she doing this with her eyes and all that. And as I'm talking to her, she's trying to like do that. I'm just like, sweetheart, ain't nothing in them goddamn eyes. There is nothing in your goddamn eyelids. Stop sitting here doing these nervous little reactions to make it seem as if you're not doing what I think you're doing. Out of all the seats you could have sat at, you sit right in front of me. That's all I'm gonna say. You can sit anywhere else. Okay. So I'm basically telling her how I was able to learn it. So me and her basically just talk like we just chopping it up. What made it crazy though, I was observing our conversation as if we were the only 2 beings on earth. Don't do that. I know, don't do it. But what I'm saying is our conversation was so divine, it was so transcendent because she enjoys these topics, by the way. And I say that because I've been in her office to where we had these conversations before, but I keep it appropriate because I understand how that work dynamic gets as far as bonded or bond ships or whatever. So I just keep it P or whatever the case may be. And I was just telling her about the clavicle on how you're able to tell. And when I was telling her, I was showing her, she went like this and she was like looking at what I was teaching her. And she just kept asking questions. Next thing I know, we just go deeper, and she's just looking into my eyes, I'm looking into hers, and she's looking like away. Then she'll come back, she'll start playing with her hair or just doing things with her eyelashes or whatever. Then Maya says, "Excuse me, Miss J, you know that Mr. Darius has a crush on you?" What the fuck is that, Demaya? What is that? Like, dead ass, when she said that, I said, "What are you doing?" No, genuinely, what the hell are you doing? Because I was so distraught. I was confused. I was like, there's no way this 11-year-old just did that. And it got to the point where it was awkward. But here's what was so crazy too. But I was just like, I never said or told you I liked Miss J. I never expressed that. I may think that, okay, she can dress, she be putting that shit on or whatever, and I respect her authority. But, excuse me, to where she still submits when we have a conversation, so I respect the dynamic. Excuse me. But she said it to where the other coworker could hear as well, and she started smiling. I was like, Demaya, are you trying to embarrass me? She like my little sister. So it's like I'm never really mad at her. It's like I see how they I see how the youth looks at me. So I never really get mad at the youth for how they think. It's their mind. And their mind just projects what they think they see. But I never said that I had a crush on her or whatever. And the thing is, she may be attractive or whatever, but I never expressed that. So why would you do that? And what's crazy, she said she did a great, so Miss J did a great job by saying, "Who, me?" Started smiling. She was like, "No way." And she alchemized the energy and then put it on Demaya by saying, "You're getting ready to graduate soon. What grade are you going to?" She told her, and then she was just like, "Okay." So Miss J said, "So will you sing for us? What song will you sing?" And then she said, well, Demaya said, "Congratulations." So Miss J said, "Okay, so will you sing for us?" And then that's when I was just listening. I was just listening to the conversation or whatever. And Demaya wasn't trying to talk about her. She was looking at me and smiling. Like she was, so when Demaya was explaining about, her graduation or whatever, to the next grade, she was looking at me. I was just staring. I was just looking. I was listening. And she was looking at me. I was just laughing. And Miss J was laughing too. And I was just like, am I missing something here? I'm asking that question because women, the women who watch me, I always love y'all sweethearts. Tell me if I'm tripping or not. Because I know you're able to understand what I'm missing on purpose, by the way. But by you hearing this, I'm pretty sure you understand what's going on. And I always love the feedback. And to my men as well. I love the feedback no matter what in the comment section. So just tell me what that is, because I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I was so confused. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Am I missing something here? Like, I couldn't make this shit up. So after that got done, she stopped talking. So me and her go back and talk or whatever. But the kids from their schools, from the elementary schools, they come to the establishment. So that's when I just seen her, looked over, and I was just like, hey, you know what? We can always just have a conversation about this or whatever the case may be. She was like, yeah, I wouldn't mind that or whatever. And, that's when we got up. And I was looking at her in her eyes, and I was telling her, like, I really enjoyed that. And we'll talk about that. She was like, you know what? Yeah, I do. I really want to talk about that. That was interesting. And then she went to go do her job or whatever. So me and Demaya walking up the stairs or whatever, waiting for the other kids. And I was just like, why would you do that? And she was just like, because you do. I can see it. I was just like, you don't know what you even seeing for real, because you can't see what I'm not really thinking about, but I thought of already. But I haven't acted on these thoughts because my thoughts reside within these videos. And because I'm just trying to, because my day, but after that though, oh, the one thing too, Demaya also mentioned to me numerous times, she wants me to have somebody in my life, wants me to be with somebody, because a lot of these kids, they'll ask me, like, do I have a girlfriend? Do I have a mom? Do I have a dad? What's my mom doing? Like, these kids be asking some crazy shit. I could be eating some fruit, And let's say Juniper, for example, another character in my story. I mentioned her before. She asked me, "What is your mom doing? Do you have a mom?" I was just like, "Yes, Juniper." And she was just like, "Really? So you were born from someone? Duh! Like, what the fuck?" Like, and then she was like, "Do you have siblings?" Yeah, I do. And I understand because I don't get to tell them my life or whatever. And they have a problem touching. Like, I don't like to be touched by anybody. And they have a constant infatuation with seeing the hair on my body. It's like when they see the hair, they be like, "Why do you have hair on your body?" I had testosterone. I'm sorry for being my genetic makeup. My bad. They always try to touch my beard. I'd be like, "Don't touch me." But today it was just a lot of that going on. And a lot of them did get mad with that. But I was just like, y'all are really in tune with my energy, and I do my best to get them away from me without getting them in trouble because I understand that they're just trying to figure out what they don't know. But it's like when they touch me, I'm like, "Bro, don't touch me ever," and they just be like, "Okay, can I get a hug?" Yes, but it's like that's just their biggest problem. But even just that lying, being nosy, it was just that whole day yesterday was just it was very funny because the kids were just like sometimes, when they would say some things, I would pick them up, shake them in the air. They would start laughing and giggling. They were like, "Can you do me next, please? I want to get up in the air." I'll pick them up, shake them, be like, "Can we have a good day today?" They be like, "I'll think about it." And then I just get them, I just start shaking them, and they start giggling. They'll be like, "Okay, okay." I'll put them down and all that. And a 6-year-old told me the other day, she was like, "I love you, Mr. Darius." And I was just like, damn. And this is Brixton, by the way. Brixton's the one that has a big imagination. To me, she's the most spiritually in tune out of all the kids. But when she mentioned that, like, she looked at me with these puppy eyes. And I was just like, what makes you say that? Because she doesn't really have conversations with people because she's just always singing. She's always yelling. She's always in her head unless she wants food or something, or her sister, Melina. Well, she said that to me and gave me a hug on my leg. I was just like, damn, that's crazy. It's really crazy. And just how they're protective of me as well. Like, even with Uno, we were playing Uno yesterday, and it was like a team Uno. So one of the girls wanted to be on my team very bad, to where she was just like, me and Mr. Darius are going to win because I got Mr. Darius on my team, and he can do anything. I was just like, what the fuck? And it got so bad to where the other two girls wanted to be on my team. So they were just fighting over who's going to be on my team. And of course, I was undefeated. I basically won 3 games in a row, but I won the one game with my other teammate. But I made them do rock, paper, scissors for that. My bad. I made them do rock, paper, scissors to be on my team or whatever. And me and the girl Tiana, we were destroying Demaya and Melina and Uno. But it was just fun though. It was just a peaceful time. We were bonding, just connecting. Like, I love Uno. But I just wanted to, give key points on what I was able to gain insight in. My bad, y'all. Yeah, let me go ahead and hurry up because I need to go ahead. Hopefully I'm not about to get strep throat. But anyways, so I understood that the Maya, not only just the Maya, but the youth and the elders as well, are spiritually in tune with my messages as a messenger as well. They are spiritually in tune with my messages as messengers for themselves. I realized that the Maya isn't just saying things to express herself or whatever, but she's just acting within her vessel that she sees me acting in as well. And the thing is as well, even through ancient time periods, children were always going to be unfiltered, so they were always going to speak their mind no matter what. That's exactly why when you heal your inner child, you just start saying things without actually thinking about them. But as you grow up, you got to start thinking before you say certain things because that could kill you in the long run. A lot of times, she's picking up on my silent energy, and she will start expressing truths that many elders are too afraid to express, and they'll guard their expressions by hiding their thoughts out loud. And then by her even saying that comment, that was basically her just being a divine mirror for what was mirrored in our conversation. And I realized that too, a reflection of my energy was already present, but since it was unspoken, that's what happened by her mirroring what was unspoken between me and my coworker. Now, the second part that I realized was the attraction that was unspoken was just the recognition for the spiritually in tune or intertwined frequencies that me and her were emitting at the table. So I understood that I don't think I have a crush or whatever, but it may not be seen as that because I'm not crushing on anybody, but it's somebody I would see interest in. Like I wouldn't mind going out and just like, taking her out or whatever, having a conversation, but I'm not going to force it. I'm not too pressed over that because I'm focused. It's like I'm so focused to where I got a lot of things that I should be doing and caring for. But I understood that my spirit is recognized by what's familiar in the window to her solar awareness. So how my spirit is projected within that establishment, the window to her solar awareness sees the attraction that she won't speak up on. Now on top of that, us holding eye contact is how we're able to communicate spiritually. Meaning that when I was looking into her solar awareness, she wasn't really, and the thing is too, she was holding it for a certain period of time to where she had to break loose from it because now it was going to be too obvious. And I was just like, no. The thing is too, I was going to keep on holding eye contact with her because I respect her. And I basically respect her so much to where I make sure that she's doing all right. I don't do too much, but I make sure she's doing good mentally. We don't really talk every day, but I do just say, if I see her, I'm like, hey, how you doing? How's your day and all that? And then boom. But I realized that whenever we were locking eyes or whatever, it was because we were energetically aligned. And on top of that, we were having a conversation with our higher selves. So when I first met her and she was asking about what I'm into, when I mentioned spirituality, she was just like, yes. She was like, because she understands that not many guys can bring her to that level of learning, and that's what stimulates her mind. So I understood that by her sitting there, that was just basically her higher self wanting to pick my brain on the videos that she watches. So I realized as well too, with the smile and the deflection, which was the reciprocation within the ego or without the ego. I realized that my coworker, Miss J, when she was smiling and laughing and she changed the subject, she wasn't really rejecting the energy, but she was just alchemizing it through being playful with the Maya to not make sure that immaturity wasn't in the conversation anymore. She was bearing the maturity level of this title and putting it back onto the Maya to basically say like, I'm not offended, but you made it awkward, so I'm not gonna fault you for that, but I'm just going to make sure that I know more about you and why you say these things. But that's the problem though. She was being aware. So she understood that her being playful, like who, me? Not arrogance, because I'm pretty sure she probably knows, but she's just being aware of what the Maya sensed through our spiritual conversation. And the thing is too, I noticed that Miss J is able to sense something as well, even if she doesn't speak about it to me openly. And I don't expect a woman to ever express her thoughts to me openly, by the way, but that's when I understood too how connections to the spirit are able to be coded with ways that protect the sacredness of the internal dialogue we have a bond with. I understood as well that the content that I make is the gateway for her spirit to become bondage or bound within the bond into itself. Meaning that my content basically became the bridge for her to connect and have a conversation with me and to starting up a different dialogue for her to stimulate her intellect through my younger perception on knowledge. So I understood that when she watches my videos and learns from them, it just shows that she resonates with my energy. And once I realized that in my inner voice, I understood that she was just building intimacy with my solar awareness as well by sending little hints. Now, on top of that, if she was willing to discuss these different topics like transhumanism with me, that's how I knew that it wasn't just her being attracted to me, but she sees me as intellectually valuable through my spirit. Because I'm giving her a conversation that many of her coworkers don't know how to have. And now it's like she's seen again. She's able to show herself to the world, and the world isn't really able to appreciate what she's doing for the community or the establishment as a whole. And when somebody notices her and then sees what she's into outside of work, and now shows her appreciation for somebody who knows what she knows spiritually and mentally as well. So I can see why she wanted my input on my videos about transhumanism, because I was talking about Diddy, Tory Lanez, Meg Thee Stallion, and Hailey Bailey and DDG and all that. Because when I made that video, she was really dissecting how how I knew she watched it. I mentioned Tory Lanez in a nostril because this Twitter account named Son of Man, he had a Tory Lanez nostril. Hopefully I had the video, or no, not the video, but the picture. That's how I knew, like, she was paying attention. I was just like, there's no fucking way. Like, I gotta be dreaming right now. This picture right here. It's blurry. There we go. This picture right here. So as you can see, Tory Lanez is a woman. Now, I told Son of Man on Twitter, like, hey, you were probably rushing with the nostril because it wasn't aligned. And she pointed that out in the conversation. I was like, that was further on within the convo of the video. So that means that you took the time out of your day to dissect that. I appreciate it. To where she used this, I want to say a connection with what she went through, and then she altered it onto me because she genuinely wanted to know how I know who's a woman and who's a man. Like, it was so bad to where I didn't want other people to stop talking because I didn't want anybody to be nosy in our conversation. But she made it seem as if nobody existed but her and I. It was crazy. It was crazy. That's why I'm into grown women, because grown women, or grown mindsets, grown spirits, they get it. They get it. I ain't gonna lie to you. Now, my fifth key point. I realized that other beings were sensing my vibration that I was already vibrating at, and I still vibrate at for today. I realized that my other coworker, because before we did leave, because the Maya told me, I also told the other lady. I said, what? I walked over to her. I said, excuse the Maya for what she said about me having a crush on her. And she was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And she smiled. I was like, got it. But now it's like, damn, man. But what if this coworker sees what I don't see? Because I understand that girls have this intellectual or telepathic connection for feelings and how they feel about a certain guy that is attractive or whatever the case may be. But my other coworker smiling and winking, that just confirmed the vibration that was already sensed in the atmosphere of the room. And then I understood as well, too, that the energy between me and Miss J is also noticed by other coworkers as well. And so once I understood how the chemistry between spiritual alchemy is radiating, you can't hide that practice through a conversation. It's going to get exposed in the light no matter what you do. So when I realized that, I seen that multiple people felt like they didn't have to speak about that because it's not their delusion speaking on it, because their frequency is aligned with what they're seeing in their delusion. So it's like they're not delusional to what they think they're seeing. But because they're aligning with my frequency by listening, they're wanting to be nosy and equate themselves into the conversation so that they can see what we're talking about, because they see her as, a boss or whatever. I mean, she is a boss. And because she has her own things going on too, which I do respect. I ain't gonna cap. A woman who got her own shit, I will never be intimidated by a woman who has her own at all whatsoever. Like, I love that shit. That's actually a turn on. But anyways, by them noticing that other coworkers or other people in general, they want to get close to that by eavesdropping or listening to it, because they can also say themselves spiritually by listening to what they aren't able to have a conversation with outside of their job. So with the next one, I understood as well that I was just having a calling of awareness, because every single day I'm finding information to find my own awareness, because I contradict my own awareness through a soulful manner that my solar awareness will be able to show me what I'm missing. So When I was telling the Maya that I don't even know if I have a crush or whatever, excuse me, excuse me, that's how I understood occultism or sorcery through linguistics. Because in linguistics or through discipline and focus, I understand that a lot of times I can miss how my spirit will naturally gravitate anybody, including myself, towards anybody who aligns with my evolution. A lot of times, because I'm so focused and disciplined, I end up missing how my spirit aligns on a natural alignment. It'll align people to gravitate towards my evolution because that's what they want to be around. It makes them feel complete again. It makes them feel comfortable. It makes them feel happy. It makes them feel childlike again. And then that's the moment I understood that I'm pushing myself from a universal quantum perspective into feeling more than I think because I had to pay attention now. And because I am paying attention right now, I see that my thoughts think they feel what the Maya was feeling or thinking because she wants me to be with somebody, but it's like the Maya, don't worry about your big brother. It's like I'm gonna always have somebody in my corner no matter what it is. But she really genuinely wants me to be with somebody so that I don't become alone or lonely. But it's like I'm gonna always be around beings that you can't even see for real. But that's all it is. I'm just basically alchemizing my attention span into seeing what is right in front of my face. Even if that, yeah, anyways. And lastly, I have to stop ignoring connections that have a sacred message for me to learn from. I understood that it was just all recognition. So when I understood that this connection helps me see something deeper, it's a lesson to align my truth through an energetic gateway that we are both thinking in. As my spiritual awareness is speaking through children, the elders, to teenagers, the middle-aged class, whatever, through laughter, hugs, getting stared at, gossiped about, supported, watched, taught, whatever the case may be, even through awkward encounters, I realized that this is all just a divine conversation happening to me for me to learn from in a real timely manner. And I wanted to express that to you all because I love just talking about my day and then showing you what I'm learning through the youth. And I want to protect them because I realize too a lot of pedophiles, a lot of apists, lesters, a lot of them are in these establishments that I don't work with, but I know that they're actually in establishments that aren't talked about. And it's my duty, it's my due diligence to protect the youth and elders from anybody who wants to cause harm upon innocent lives. And I refuse to let anybody get taken advantage of without giving consent. I refuse. But, I really I appreciate what I'm becoming and what I'm seeing, what I'm experiencing, what I'm learning. And I'm just so thankful for these new characters in my story or my movie or my documentary that I'm basically showing to the world, because I'm basically just showing you a daily documentary or a daily streaming of how my thoughts are observing themselves every single day. And I just really want y'all to tell me, because I'm basically acting stupid at the moment. So I just want y'all to tell me in the comment section, what you think that is, because I don't want to make it seem as if it's something that it's really not, but what is it? Because I notice too when I say certain things, she'll laugh to where she shows all her teeth or whatever. Her teeth are really nice as well, but she smiles and she calls me a man as well. And she just also, we may walk one day and just talk as well to continue that conversation, but I don't know what may happen in the future. I don't want to force anything once again. I don't know if she's watching right now either, but who really knows, honestly. But honestly, I'm just appreciative of every experience. And when you're being yourself as a man, you cannot be surprised when people are in tune with how you feel about yourself. There are certain affirmations I won't tell y'all, but in my journal, I have affirmations, even in my phone as well. Free game. Go in your voice memos. Say an affirmation, or what's the word I'm looking for? That's how I know I'm tired. But affirmations and mantras. So there are mantras and affirmations I say. Go in voice memos. Say that affirmation, say that mantra for however long. It could be 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 10 minutes. When you're done, you're going to download documents. And then when you download that, you're going to transfer that voice memo to your documents. When you do that, you're going to play that voice memo on the loop. So let's say you have an affirmation or a mantra for 10 minutes. Play that on a loop for 10 minutes, or play it just the whole day. When you do that, you are training your subconscious mind to believe what you're saying through the voice memo. So if you're saying, I am successful, and that's your mantra for 10 minutes, your mind has no choice but to emulate what it's hearing through you. If you're telling yourself you're successful, your subconscious mind sleeps on that. It wakes up hearing that. It drives to work or to school hearing that. It's learning it every single day. And you're saying it to yourself every single day without even playing the voice memo. You are now programming your mind to uplift itself again. Free game. I can't make this shit up. So when people do all these different things to me and around me, and they just give me hugs and just shower me with, they shower me with grace and love and compassion. That's how I know that I'm just loved by a higher source that people have to be envious of, because a lot of people feel as if, why can't it be me? Why is it always him? And it's because you're not willing to do better than your past situations. You're too busy focusing on what I'm doing and how I'm living to where you can't live for yourself anymore. So of course, since many people who can't live for themselves, they try to live through me. And when I block them from doing that, they get mad at me for doing it. You can't be me, nor do I want to be myself, because Darius, I want you to be better than who you were yesterday for today. So let's make more videos. Let's keep on learning for today. Let's keep on helping somebody out there who wants to understand consciousness. But overall, I want to prolong this video. This is basically all I have, even though, truthfully, I can keep on going. But right now, I want to be able to protect my healing process that I'm going through. I need to get some tea and honey lemon tea, for example. But I need to go and get some tea, get some warm water, get some rest as well. I'm very tired. But I appreciate y'all, and thank you for watching this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe for more divine messages. And thank you for bearing with me through my speech impediment as well. And thank you for listening to my honesty also. And just thank you for smiling throughout this video. And also, once again, thank you for the criticism as well. Thank you for the criticism as well in the comment section, because your mindset, your egos definitely help me teach myself. Understand, I'm not teaching you. You are teaching me through myself of my own unaware capabilities of learning what I never knew. I always learn through you guys and you women as well. So that's like why I appreciate you, because always remember, you and I aren't really even here physically. We're just having our thoughts expressed out loud with what we are observing our spirit to. I want a new word. I want to learn a new word. So not emulate. I want to say, not project either. We are expressing what our spirit is. Other words for projecting. What? Alright, how about emitting? Because what the fuck? I don't think this thesaurus knows what I'm talking about. Okay, other words for emitting. So send forth, throw out, vent, infuse, discharge, release, issue, leak, ooze, shed, excrete. So as my spirit excretes itself or leaks, as my spirit is issuing or casting out a certain toning that beings want to gravitate towards, I understand that I'm able to learn what your radiation has always been the whole entire time. And as I'm able to articulate what you and I have been thinking, now it makes sense on why in the real world, outside of social media, outside of this camera, it makes sense on why beings do what they do when they see me walk into a room or walk into whatever the case may be. And I just appreciate all of it. And I just got so many ideas for y'all. I can go on all day, but I'm gonna stop it right here. I love y'all so much. Take care of yourself, love yourself, and appreciate your experience. And always acknowledge all information. Doesn't matter where it comes from. Acknowledge it, contradict it, and learn from yourself. Never let knowledge teach you. Teach knowledge, because when you teach knowledge, then how knowledgeable will knowledge become when you're teaching yourself what knowledge can never be knowledgeable in? I'm gone.